What's up guys, welcome back again to our podcast Share With Us, aku Ari. Dan tema podcast kita pada hari ini adalah The Story of a Debater. Dan hari ini salah satu narasumber kita merupakan salah satu debater yang sangat pro dan sangat jago dalam bidang debat ini guys. Dia juga bisa debat bahasa Inggris, bahasa Indonesia. Mari kita sambut Aldiba. Halo Aldiba.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good.
Nice.
Can you introduce yourself to our viewers here?
Okay, so hello everyone. I hope you enjoying this podcast today. And then allow me to introduce myself. Is it okay that I may use English mixed with bahasa Indonesia?
It's fine.
Okay. So, then first and foremost, kita bisa memulai dari nama saya bahwa saya ada Aldiba Firman Marbun dan saya lahir di Pontianak tanggal 20 Oktober tahun 2005. Dan di sini saya sekarang sedang belajar sebagai undergraduate di Universitas Tanjung Pura. Khususnya saya saat ini sedang berada pada program studi ilmu hukum di Fakultas Hukum dan sedang berada pada saat ini itu di semester ketiga. Di bagian undergraduate program. And then for my own activities itself, it's already been mentioned by you before that one of my biggest hobbies ever is debating. Whether it is a parliament debate or even the law debate, it is something that I really enjoy and I often do in my if I have a time to do it. Not just doing it, even teaching it to others.
Sebelumnya Aldiba tahu tentang dunia debat ini bagaimana sih? Bagaimana Aldiba bergabung dengan tim debat atau bagaimana Aldiba tahu atau tertarik dengan hal itu? Apakah emang dari dulu suka ngelihat orang di TV berdebat atau gimana?
I think the one thing that I consider myself is that saya itu memiliki background debat itu sejak mulai SMA. I was in high school before and then it's the first time that I joining debate clubs. Kita menyebutnya itu ekstrakurikuler atau ekskul. Dan di ekskul debat itu aku mulai belajar memahami tentang bagaimana caranya berdebat, bagaimana caranya melakukan critical thinking, berpikir kreatif, even storytelling juga termasuk dalam debat, dan gimana caranya supaya saya bisa melatih mental beserta kapasitas berpikir saya dalam debat. Itu something that really changed my life after that because it was actually my first time. I don't know how debate works. I just watch debates in political TVs right now, and then in a presidential debate, for example, I don't really do debates there is often debates ada formalitasnya, ada aturannya. Kau ngomong, orang lain belum boleh ngomong seperti itu. And then I think it's very much shock, like a canon event in my life to joining high school debate clubs eventually, and then I keep going and then starting, then moving on into even until right now I'm still in the debates in the University of Tanjung Pura also right now, and then I continue into joining the debate unions of the University of Tanjung Pura, and then eventually I came across to many competition, and then basically that's how in short terms how I becoming debaters, and then moving on into what I become right now.
Oh, oke. Berarti dari kecil udah ada ketertarikan, bukan dari kecil sih, lebih dari SMA. Dari SMA, Aldiba udah figure out you want to be you want this thing.
Yes, I want.
Oke.
Yes.
Terus setelah mengikuti dunia debat nih, berarti dari SMP ke SMA dong kan?
Iya, betul.
Dari semenjak SMA tuh ada nggak sih kayak perbedaan debat di SMA dengan debat di kuliah dalam konteks skill, mungkin dalam konteks sistem? Apakah ada perbedaan juga? Sorry kalau aku boleh tahu.
Okay, I think ini juga penting. I think everybody needs to know about this stuff. Sebenarnya tidak ada perbedaan antara debat SMA sama debat di perkuliahan. This maybe will be very long explanation, but I hope this can be very digestible by the ordinary people. So it's basically saying that debates ini sesuatu yang aku kaget banget waktu aku tahu debat ini tuh kayak gini, bahwa debate is not about finding the truths. That's the thing. Debat itu bukan soal mengenai siapa yang paling benar, siapa yang punya fakta lebih banyak. Karena apabila Anda memiliki suatu mosi, dan mosinya itu adalah berbunyi sifat yang udah fakta, udah betul-betul it's undebatable, then you can maybe ask what then debates for eventually. Dewan ini percaya bahwa 1 + 1 sama dengan 2. It's something like that, and it's not debatable, and it's not even not really a debatable thing. And then when I encounter debate in itself, I eventually realized that facts alone doesn't really change people. So what you are doing in debates eventually, mungkin ini lebih condong ke debat yang ada di perkuliahan, karena rather than in the SMA level, because we are still learning as a beginner, we still following some structures in debate like definisi, parameter, karakteristik, tata ukur dan lain sebagainya. Tetapi di debat di debat perkuliahan itu jauh lebih luas, alias engkau tidak bukan berarti tidak perlu struktur, engkau tidak harus berpatokan sama satu struktur, namun ada banyak sekali jenis-jenis struktur, bahkan istilah-istilah baru yang mungkin tidak akan pernah Anda jumpai di perdebatan SMA. Seperti contohnya itu adalah framing, sustainability, likelihood, dan lain sebagainya. And it is something I think that is very much important for not just orang-orang yang berdebat di perkuliahan, namun juga orang-orang yang berdebat di tingkat SMA. And this is something that I also teach to my students. Also, so I'm a coach in debaters in SMA Negeri 3 Pontianak. That's matter. And then eventually, what I always told them to do is that debates, like I said before, itu terstruktur, sistematis pasti. Namun struktur itu tidak hanya satu, melainkan there is so many ways to structuralize a debates. Kayak seperti contoh, Boseo mempunyai tipe debatnya sendiri, one of the world championship in debate team, and then also one of them is the David Africa, who is the world championship right now, the 2023, if I'm correct. And then also Brian Hus, but in the University of Gajah Mada, for example, Kak Astri, and so on and so on. They all have their own types of debates, their own kinds of structures. And then eventually I came to realize that debate it's about critical thinking, obviously, but it's also about creativity of your mind. You create how you make an argument, analyzing it using your own imagination, and this imagination eventually will make what we call logical. And this logical thing is something that is very much structures, but it is very much made up. Mungkin bahasa kasarnya di sini adalah debat itu seolah-olah Anda memainkan atau memutar suatu kata, seolah-olah kata itu memihak ke tim kalian, entah itu kalian pro ataupun kontra dalam suatu debat. Karena dalam suatu debat itu pro kontra itu kan tidak dipilih pribadi, but it's chosen by the jury, by the panitia debat biasanya. Dan itu adalah sesuatu yang memang tidak bisa diikuti dalam kata hati, alias Anda mau tidak mau harus memiliki ilmu bahasa yang sangat tidak harus sangat tinggi, melainkan ilmu bahasa yang basic saja untuk dapat bagaimana caranya membuat seolah-olah kalimat yang Anda katakan, which is actually subjective, pretty much subjective, but the subjectivity will convince people. Buat bahasa kasarnya ya, to hypnotize, untuk menghipnotis para juri seolah-olah bahwa tim kalian itu yang menang. So I think that's debate in general, for example. Jadi dari itu kita bisa ngeliat bahwa perbedaannya mungkin bahwa SMA itu masih mengikuti struktur, mereka masih kayak melihat ada sesuatu yang pasti, ada sesuatu yang salah benar secara pasti itu dari SMA. Sementara di perkuliahan itu bukan berarti semua tidak pasti, tetapi kepastiannya itu lebih kontekstual, alias nuance atau nuansa. Nuance ini merupakan maksud dari nuance ini adalah pemahaman yang jauh lebih dalam dan in-depth explanation bahwa debat itu jauh lebih kompleks ketimbang apa yang kita lihat. Because eventually the highest knowledge, the highest wisdom someone has is not they certain about everything. Kebijaksanaan tertinggi bukan ketika orang pasti mengetahui segala hal atau mengetahui bahwa sesuatu itu pasti, melainkan mengetahui bahwa hal ini bisa saja changing, bisa saja berubah, dan we need to make sure what will happen, what is going to happen, dan juga gimana cara nge-tackle ini. This is something we call that analyzing in debate, and also to analyze the impact, the weighing of the debate itself. I think that's also what makes me change my life eventually, dari point of view yang sifatnya linear, yang sifatnya cuman ilmu pasti segala macam, lebih ke transisi menjadi lebih ke variatif. Tidak hanya berpikir linear, tapi juga berpikir secara dinamis, atau dalam bahasa filsafatnya itu berpikir secara dialektik, bahwa it's not just about what you see, it's about what behind, and it's about the everything around us, everything that we can think, feel, and it's very much important for us. I think that's all I can say about debates in general, and also about the high school debates and the university debates level.
Alibani kan juga udah mulai debat sejak SMA. Untuk akses berlatih debat itu gimana sih pas SMA? Kan as you said before, you're like the teacher now, like you're the coach at some high school in Pontianak. Like, but when you're the student back in high school, like how you learn, like is there anyone who coach you, that kind of stuff?
Oke.
Akses untuk belajar debat tuh gimana sih kalau bagi seorang Aldiba? Apakah lewat YouTube atau belajar baca buku?
Okay. So first and foremost, I think this will become a very much personal story ya, nah pengalaman saya sebagai debat segala macam. So when I was in high school, we have a coach, of course. Setiap sekolah itu pasti memiliki coach. Dan apabila suatu SMA memiliki ekskul debat, pasti at least ada one coach yang bakal mengajar di debat SMA itu. For example, some of my coach ada Kak Tika Wulandari, Kak Yulanti, Bang David Ferlianto, terus ada juga udah banyak sebenarnya, tapi mohon maaf bagi viewers or maybe some of your coach watching here, I'm very sorry. I remember your face but I don't remember your name. I'm really sorry ya. But they are I appreciate them. Udah mengajarin aku berbagai macam hal. Eventually after that sumber ilmuku tentu saja tidak hanya dari mereka. We as a debaters, for example, also learn from many other things. For example, one of your side is from YouTube's. There are so many good YouTube channels, especially about debates in the platform. For example, there are so many like the Manchester United debates, for example, or the Boseo's podcast, for example, or even just basic the Luigi debate lectures, for example. There's so many debates lectures, but all of this unfortunately sangat disayangkan bahwa kebanyakan dari kuliah tentang debat di sini adalah kebanyakan itu dari bahasa Inggris. So there are some Indonesian debate lectures, there are some Indonesian debate class, tapi itu biasanya sedikit. But eventually, I think it is very good because to add one of the former question that before in high school I was debating in a bahasa Indonesia, but right now in University of Tanjung Purau, I specifies in the debating English division. Yes, so that's why. And then eventually it also comes from books, for example, and then actually the books it's also one of my biggest hobbies. Other than debates, also the biggest readers of literatures, especially classic literatures like Charles Dickens, Shakespeare, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Mikhail Bulgakov, and some philosophers like Plato, Nietzsche, Martin Heidegger, and Hegel, for example. Hegel is also one of my inspiration. Even like when I see debates and Hegel's philosophy is very correlated because they talk about dialectics and that the truth is always changing. It's always based on the cultures, based on the spirits, and then eventually the other like Karl Marx are also reading. So many books that I read, and it's influenced me by a personal problem, not just in my personal life, even in debates also. It's influenced me so much because eventually like for example, even this is most people know that Socrates, for example, debating the Athenians people, like they challenging their talks, and then eventually it's when you see the Plato's book, for example, it's not all about the truth, it's not about the absolute undefined truth, but it's actually about how you can becoming better and better by actually knowing that you don't know nothing, you don't know anything at all, but you realize that you don't know, so you want to learn, you want to be better, and you want to be more growing up for that matter. I think it is much very important for people to know, especially in debates, because even if, for example, you know you're a professor, you know about everything, you know a lot of stuff about knowledge, you know all of facts, doesn't mean you can eventually convince people, because as a human being we are still connected with our own subjectivity, and it needs kind of a storytelling for you to do so in order for you to convince the judges. Eventually, yeah, that's how I approach debate, by the books, YouTube's coach, and also this is very important, exercising the debate itself, having a spar with your friends, for example, even just having a discussion with your friends is also one of the things that maybe can improve your own debate skill, because it's nobody can, even I personally doesn't becoming like this in an instant. Even I still learning, I still studying. I'm sorry, I'm still studying, and then not really that great for that matter. And then the way I becoming university level debates, for example, is by exercising. It's basically a habituation. You cannot just becoming this and that's it. Like it's an instant, it's not an instant. Like Aristotle said, it needs a kind of habituation. It needs suatu pembiasaan diri supaya kamu bisa menjadi seorang pro. Bahkan orang-orang yang udah pro pun pasti kayak baru memulai. Kayak contohnya Boseo. Boseo itu waktu awal debat, dia itu bukan waktu sebagai anak-anak dulu ya, bukan orang pedebat. Jadi he's just an ordinary kids who actually doesn't really like public speaking that much, but he become a world championship in debates. So I think that's very important for people to know about this. It's maybe it can be true, maybe your dream can come true, maybe not, but let's just focus on what you can do and what's the best thing you can do eventually. It depends because God has a plan.
Terus nih Dibat, untuk tantangan dunia debat nih pasti kan ada pertandingan-pertandingan yang ngelawan kayak
of course.
fakultas-fakultas yang sangat-sangat terkenal, mungkin ngelawan fakultas atau universitas dari negara lain nih. Kayak apa sih pengalaman yang sangat-sangat berkesan di saat kayak what we call championship or tournament atau that kind of stuff, huh?
Yeah, because there is something called debate open debates. Open debates itu adalah lomba level nasional. Dia dikategorikan sebagai lomba level nasional, tetapi sebenarnya bisa jadi level internasional. Kalau debat open itu memasuki mengundang negara lain. Karena debat open ini berarti bahwa everybody can join the debate.
It's open, right?
Yes, it's called open. It's like open chess, for example. Di lomba catur yang sifatnya open juga gitu, bahwa di lomba catur kamu boleh mengundang bahkan orang yang udah tua, orang yang udah profesor sekalipun buat ikut lomba catur. You can do it. It's like open debates. And telah mengikuti debate open itu sebanyak 4 kali. Dan breakingnya itu waktu itu baru 1, dan saya paling tinggi cuman lolos sebagai quarter finalis waktu itu. It's still my lowest bottom. Even I right now masih dalam tahap belajar dan pernah gagal juga dalam debate open for that matter. And I think that's the thing that make people scared, like debate open semua orang bisa join, bahkan orang kayak contoh salah satu pendebat paling hebat kita Cece Feliani bisa jadi ikut debat itu. Kayak kemarin aku melihat Brian Hus, for example, from UGM. He's very much a master in the debates, and then I see his name like, this guy is always everywhere when I joining a debate opens, IT debates are open and for that matter, and then I always see him eventually, and like, this guy is number 1 again. Of course, okay, but I think the thing about that is that I hope it doesn't stop you. It doesn't stop you because you don't know where you will end up. You don't know where, for example, with one of my coach, like I already mentioned before, is Kak Yuli. Kak Yuli is, I always admire her skill, her speaking debate. She's pretty much very awesome in my own eyes. Even in my colleges, she's very much an admired debaters. But then again, there is a time di NUDC dan juga debate open lainnya, saya itu harus ketemu Kak Yuli. Walaupun belum pernah satu chamber ya, tapi kayak saya ngelihat saya dengan Kak Yuli ini udah mau nggak mau harus bertanding, entah kapanpun itu. And then eventually what I see is I need to become better than her, even if she is my coach. And this is also what I see with my own teammates. Also, one of my coach is also we have legendary debaters also in Chevrolet, Bang Faisal, for example. Again, my teammate also. And then I see him as my teammate. He's also my coach. But then eventually I see that I need, if I have to go into the debates again, I need to kalau misalkan tidak bisa, I try not to giving up. I try to becoming better than him. Bukan berarti aku merendahkan Bang Faisal, namun I need to improve myself eventually, because you don't know where you will end up, and maybe eventually you will becoming better and better again. Like just when you see someone that is awesome, someone that is already a championship, for example, just don't be minded. Like you maybe will beat them eventually, maybe not. It's unsure, it's uncertain. So you need to keep doing it no matter what, and then eventually to debate and exercising, because you don't actually know what's gonna happen. So just doing it, brother. Just be better, just exercising and asking him for a help, for example, like teaching what's your skill in debate, for example. Saya bertanya kepada Bang Faisal sama Kak Yuli gimana cara debat, gimana dan lain sebagainya, and eventually it's very much awesome. Even like for example right now saya mengajar murid-murid juga, ada anak-anak dari SMA 3 tadi, dan juga bahwa if one day suatu hari mereka ini tiba-tiba menjadi pendebat yang jauh-jauh lebih hebat daripada aku, I'll be happy. I will be crying happily that oh my god, thank god this these guys and these girls are very much better than me in a debate. I am, sebagai guru itu adalah sesuatu yang membanggakan melihat murid-murid kamu itu bisa mengalahkan coachnya sendiri. And I want to see that eventually one day to my own the one I coach. Aku ingin melihat semua itu dengan orang-orang yang sudah aku ajari eventually one day. Then I think that's the thing what I want to see. It's just obstacle, like maybe some enemies, but don't see it as an obstacle. See it as a challenge. Like, oh, I will have to fight this guy and become better than him. And then it maybe end up well, maybe not. Like my own personal experience, it can be end you are winning, or maybe you can end up you are losing. For example, it's a 50-50 chance, or maybe 18-20, or maybe 19-18. But it's still unsure, and just keep doing it because you don't really know what's gonna happen next, right? So yeah, just do it eventually.
Yeah, just like go with the flow.
Yeah, do it with the flow. See, be becoming better. You're doing your best.
Nah, untuk Aldima ini kan udah berapa kali nih Aldima buat ikut lomba-lomba debat dari SMA?
Udah ikut lomba-lomba debat dari
Udah
SMA.
berapa championship have you like
I think
been in though?
Aku nak ngitungnya bingung juga sih sebenarnya. Wait,
More than lebih dari 10?
Maybe, but let's say one by one kayak I was LDBA fight of course. LDBA kalau kemarin kalau saya bagus sekali LDBA, kemudian 3 more dari lomba debat di IAIN, terus ada juga dari BKKBN, Mujahidin sama, terus ada juga dari GBB Untan. Then eventually to moving on into the university level debates, I follow the debates di Banten kemarin. Saya dikirim oleh Fakultas Hukum juga buat mewakili debat, and then eventually I join NUDC of course. I joining 4 open debates for that matters, and then next moving on I joining the lomba debat di Polda sebagai perwakilan kemarin waktu itu di lomba debat di Polda sama. And the next one is yang baru kali ini saya udah bukan dua kali sih. Pertama saya ikut MCC, Moot Court Competition. Itu Moot Court Competition is lomba debat juga, namun lomba debatnya ini adalah debat hukum. Jadi kamu simulasi dalam sidang pengadilan. That's Moot Court Competition. Jadi seolah-olah kamu jadi advokatnya, kamu jadi jaksanya, jadi begitu. Dan waktu pertama kali ikut saya bukan pembicaranya, bukan oralisnya, saya hanya pemantau, we call it observer. And then for the second step I join MCC, and finally right now I'm becoming oralist, dan saat ini saya masih melakukan dalam proses untuk pengujian atau babak eliminasi terhadap MCC itu sendiri. So I just doing my best.
Jadi banyak lah ya pengalaman debat Aldima di luar sana, meski dalam fakultas. Terus kayak setelah banyak mengikuti lomba debat nih, adakah perubahan ngelihat cara pandang Aldima tentang debat tuh kayak ternyata lomba di A beda dari yang B, atau yang B lebih susah dari yang C? Apakah ada kayak slightly different things meski lombanya pada akhirnya sama kan, lomba debat dalam bahasa Inggris mungkin kan?
I think just to be honest for myself that it depends on the panitia. Tergantung dari panitianya gimana nyelenggarin debatnya, sama it's also ini juga penting, selain panitia ada juga namanya juri. Karena di dalam perdebatan itu sebenarnya ya, dalam perdebatan tadi saya bilang bahwa you need to persuade the judges, you need to convince the judges to make your own. Dan one problem is that not all judges are the same. Tidak semua judges atau juri itu sama. Karena dalam debat kita ngebuat seolah-olah juri ini tidak tahu apa-apa. They just average ordinary people you just meet on some street and then asking for penilaian like that. Tapi kadang ada beberapa juri yang memang seorang akademisi yang memang hanya terconvince dalam data ataupun suatu teori. And I think it's important for the debaters to know what the judges want, to know apa yang disukai juri, dan untuk dapat mengambil hati si juri untuk bisa memenangkan tim kalian. That's the thing about the judges. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just you need. It's of course like a psychological thing. You need to read other people's mind, but it's more like that you know how to convince someone, how to make up words so that people can believe in you for that matters. And then eventually the other thing about the judges and also about the SMA, bahwa aku menggunakan bahasa Indonesia, but in university level I'm using English. Actually, this is very unique experience for myself. That it is easier to debate in English rather than Indonesia. I don't know why, just happens to my mind that some people say, oh kamu lebih bagus debatnya itu bahasa Inggris daripada bahasa Indonesia. I think it's just shocking me for that matter, and then that's the thing that it's for much for me.
Jadi itu slightly different lah ya.
Yeah, it's slightly different of course.
Tempat-tempat.
Different experience.
Oke. Mungkin kayak ada panitia yang ngilang grade yang bagus atau panitianya kurang dana proposal mungkin ya.
Iya.
Ada pengalaman yang kayak gitu.
I understand them.
Oke. Untuk terus kayak apakah Aldiba ada tips-tips nih untuk anak-anak SD mungkin anak-anak SMP atau anak-anak para pemuda di luar sana yang ingin mulai ngikutin debat, mungkin dari debat bahasa Indonesia seperti pas kamu SMA atau debat bahasa Inggris mungkin pas kuliah, bisa mulai debat bahasa Inggris pas SMA kan?
Bisa.
Coba kakak ada tips-tips untuk mereka yang ingin terjun di dunia debat juga buat teman-teman di luar sana?
First and foremost, read books, a lot of books, because debate is about general knowledge, tentang pengetahuan umum yang memang kamu nggak harus extremely tahu, tapi buat seolah-olah kamu extremely tahu tentang debat itu apa. Ini is important. The second one is to membiasakan diri melakukan berbicara dengan orang lain. It's important for me karena ada beberapa orang ketika memulai debat dia gugup, dia nggak tahu mau ngomong apa, buyar waktu dia berada di depan panggung. It's one of the example is like I think it is important for you. Ini bukan sesuatu yang memang not enjoyable. Aku tahu ada beberapa orang yang takut untuk public speaking, namun ini memang even myself, aku pemalu aslinya, dan ini memang mau tidak mau sesuatu yang mau dipaksakan, mau sesuatu yang mau dilatih dari pribadi. As long as you have a niat, you have a drive to actually improving yourself, you can eventually do it. So tadi bahwa Anda harus membaca banyak buku, read a lot of books, and also train your public speaking with not a lot of people, just having a conversation with some other people. And then the third one I think it's to challenge your own talks, karena di debat ada beberapa ketika kamu mendapatkan pro atau kontra yang memang saya dapat mosi ini dan mosinya ini menyuruh saya untuk jadi pro, tapi sebenarnya saya kontra dengan mosi itu. Ya mau tidak mau Anda harus mengubah mindset kalian sebanyak 180 derajat. It's important for the debaters to think like that. That's why I said that debate is a very Hegelian. Debate is a very Hegelian, sangat Hegelian, karena Hegelian itu tadi dialektiknya bahwa apa yang positif dan negatif itu sama, sesuatu yang berbanding satu sama lain, sesuatu dua sisi satu koin yang sama. And it's also important for you to know what arguments you had in order for you to improve your own arguments. Ini quotes juga dari Boseo bahwa untuk dapat mengerti, untuk dapat menyanggah lawan, engkau harus dapat memahami lawan lebih baik daripada lawan itu sendiri. I think it's very important for debaters to not thinking in a linear terms, karena kita juga pakai konsep critical thinking, dan critical thinking ini konsepnya mirip dengan dialektik bahwa engkau harus keluar dari jalur nyaman, you need to get out of comfort zone and eventually improving your own minds, improving your point of views of very much in every variety of lives and thinkings in subjects and fields what that matters. That's all.
Oke. Udah sampai di penghujung acara juga Aldiba. Terima kasih atas saran dan tipsnya dan pengalaman sebagai seseorang yang sangat sibuk dengan debat. Di episode sebelumnya kan kita ada seorang sibuk dengan organisasi nih guys. Ini di episode kali ini kita ada seseorang yang sangat sibuk dengan debat. Tapi juga enggak
dua-duanya sih.
Di dua. Begitu ya. Apa boleh Aldiba kayak kata penutup bagi teman-teman di luar sana, closing statement-nya beriin buat teman-teman dong.
I think my own closing statement, I will just use the Socrates. I think it's important for you to know that
kata-kata hari ini.
The only wisdom is that you know, or that I know, that I don't know nothing. That's all.
Apa artinya tuh bang?
Satu-satunya kebijaksanaan yang penting adalah aku tahu bahwa aku tidak tahu apapun. I don't get it. It's important for debates to know this karena you need to challenge common thoughts. Kamu harus men-challenge pikiran yang dianggap normal, bahkan dianggap populer sama masyarakat, dan memikirkan bahwa hal-hal yang sebenarnya dianggap jelek bisa jadi bagus.
Oke. Thank you Aldiba. Terima kasih udah sharing-sharing cerita pada hari ini. Oke guys, thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you on our next episode. Bye.
See you.
Episode.